Ripple XRP settlement is ready. Ripple and SIC connection, massive IMF leak. Will XRP be the eSDR? Ripple has been one of the favorites of crypto millionaires, especially of those who look at locking their funds in the long run and gain massive returns. But the series of events that have been taking place with respect to this currency makes us wonder, is Ripple XRP settlement ready? What is the connection between Ripple and SEC? What was said about it by IMF, and will it be the next eSDR? Hello crypto lovers, welcome to Finance Bro, your daily crypto update. But before we begin the video, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you get notified when I come back with another amazing video. Without any further ado, let's jump into the video. Many years have been wondering about what exactly is the connections between STC and Ripple and how it may affect the trend of the token. If you are wondering the same, then you are at the right place. 9 years ago, a startup called Ripple Labs came onto the fintech scene with a promising plan to provide financial institutions with low-cost clearance of border money transfers. To ensure that this happened smoothly, the company had a setup of a network on which transactions spreads across the globe in the form of cryptocurrency called XRP, which was specially created for this very task. But thanks to its eventual popularity outside of that application, XRP has turned out to be sort of time bomb with a very long fuse for Ripple. That bomb finally went off last year when the SEC filed suit against the Ripple and its current and former CEOs, claiming that selling XRP constitute the offering of an unregistered security, essentially an illegal IPO. The lawsuit didn't exactly come out of nowhere. The SEC has been breathing down the neck of crypto firms for years, occasionally lashing out with warnings, lawsuits, and penalties. But the first serious actions took place in 2013 when the agency closed down Bitcoin Savings and Trust as a Ponzi scheme. The man behind it, Trendon Shavers, was sentenced to 1.5 years in prison. While different people have different opinions on whether the SEC has a firm, strong case against Ripple, almost everyone would agree that the underlying problem is a lack of clarity over how cryptocurrency can be regulated in ways that don't sabotage the industry or unfairly target companies and investors. The SEC had seemingly shrugged off Ripple and XRP for more than 7 years. That long silence may well have led the company and XRP investors to assume that either the value of XRP tokens were streamed sufficiently insulated from the Ripple doings or otherwise. It's hard to predict how the SEC suit will play out. Ripple is currently fighting it out with the agency in the US Court of the Southern District of New York. Whatever the court decides, or in case of an outside settlement, outcome is certain to impact the cryptocurrency world. Ripple, for its part, has loudly begged to differ. In its filing and public statements, the company asserts that it had nothing to do with XRP's creations or how the company is managed and maintained, or at least no more than any other owners of the token. In 2018, Ripple's Regulatory Relations Director Ryan Zagone testified to Britain's Parliament saying, XRP is open source and it was not created by our company, so that existed as an open source technology. We created a company that was interested in modernizing payments and then began using that open source tech to do so. We didn't create XRP. We do own a significant amount of XRP. It was gifted to us by some of the open source developers that created it, but there's not a direct connection between Ripple, the company, and XRP. But that's a wild stretch based on Ripple Labs trying to distance itself from its earlier incarnations as Newcoin and OpenCoin, said Preston Byrne, an attorney at law firm Anderson Kill specializing in cryptocurrency, who is not directly involved in the case. XRP tokens didn't spring out of the ground like gnomes, said Brian. They were created by Ripple's predecessors, entity OpenCoin. Outside of the SEC, there seems a growing consensus that XRP and other major cryptocurrencies ought to be regulated as currencies, not securities. XRP is already treated entirely as a currency by regulators in a number of countries, including the UK, Japan, and Switzerland, and is enlisted as a form of money by hundreds of banks, companies, and consumers' apps. Even the US Treasury Department consider XRP to be as a currency. It's not just Ripple and its principal who have felt blindsided in the additions to the impact of the suit on XRP's value. Some 50 cryptocurrency exchanges delisted XRP or suspend trading in it. The SEC suit is seen by some as chilling to the entire cryptocurrency industry, with the combined market capitalizations of digital currencies currently standing at nearly $2.5 trillion. All in all, the day the judgment is passed, with a historic day in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. What do you think the judgment will be? Let us know in the comment sections below. Moving on, let's talk about the clip that has been doing rounds on Twitter, which has Julia Chatterley, IMF, and to this, Kristalina Georgieva's interview. Well, you must be wondering, why is this important? It is very important because they are talking about digital currencies, a potential US digital reserve currency, as Julia says, Digital X. That's an important indication that might be a signal in the background between everyone involved here. Former head Christine Lagarde will presume laid the DLT infrastructure, with Ripple potentially building eSDR. Now, this is a speculation, but there may be evidence to back this up. Ask Julia questions. Do you think the US dollar as the world's reserve currency, or do you think digital X can fill it in? If you choose to, or probably not to have the token over, what would be your comment on this? To which Kristalina's response is what we have sought after. She says, yes, the US will be reserve currency in 10 years or digital platform, whether it is the currency one or it is the digital dollar is to be seen. The depth of the capital markets in the United States and above all the innovations capacity of US company, that is what lifting a lot of the US and would see some changes in the compositions of reserve currencies. From these conversations, what we can infer is that the emphasis made indirectly on Ripple by means of currency X gives us a hint of XRP being the future of digital currency. With what the IMF representative said about the compositions of reserve currencies, the next big question will be if XRP will be the next eSDR. With much speculations going on in the crypto market, what would be worth seeing is what the future holds for XRP. Does the IMF leak suggest an insider claim for XRP settlement? How is the SEC judgment going to be affected with the respect of the IMF views? Will the XRP be the next eSDR? Well, these questions have no specific answer, but in our view, keeping in mind that the currency financial ecosystems, XRP is a step ahead to become the new eSDR. What are your views about it? Let us know in the comment sections below and give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. Thank you for watching.
Subscribe for more updates on cryptocurrencies and investment markets. Also, feel free to comment below. We would be happy to know your perception about this topic and answer your queries if any. We will come out with more videos, so stay tuned.